Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hoo-wee, everything's on sale here today, folks. Hope you either shorted or did not take a long at the top yesterday. Obviously, Bitcoin doing pretty poorly here today. A lot of that has to do with the jobless coming through here, the jobless claims. Thanks to my admin here over in our Discord, Mr. Anderson, thank you very much. It posted basically here that less than expected for payroll. So the initial jobless claims are not looking good. That's not the main reason for this because Asia dumped the market prior to, but this is causing the selling pressure right at 60,000. So hope you have some limit orders set there, folks, and I think it'd be wise to kind of consider that. So at this point, taking a look here at Solana, what we want to double check is a few important things. Let's go ahead and look at the backend data. I'm very curious about the lower levels of liquidation, at least what has maybe formed since we talked yesterday. We can see, we look at this closely here, of course, there's previous levels here at about 145 that just recently got swept as the price pulled back. There's also some previous levels as low as about 136. So keep in mind, 136 could be the next target here for Solana. And if we do take a look at the big picture, at 155 mark, there's a little bit of shorts there, but that's mostly just the last 24 hours, people that have been shorting the coin as soon as it hit its top. At this point, though, we can see all that liquidation from 153, 154 has been swept. So it was nice to know that our analysis yesterday was accurate. I don't think we came close to 160, of course, but that would have been a nice little resistance that I was talking about previously based on previous support ranges. So good news is we don't got to worry about that for a little while. Bad news is the price action is pulled back pretty significant here, and Bitcoin keeps retesting 60,000. So make sure, again, you have some limit orders set for your spot bags. I do have a tentative Elliott wave playout chart here on the charts here, and just note that if the price goes any lower than it is right now, if we breach that 141 or lower, that would invalidate this because essentially the 4 has to be higher than the 1 as far as the waves are concerned. But this is tentative for the moment, just based on the so far here and now, right? So hypothetically, we should have one more leg up if Bitcoin can stabilize. Bitcoin cannot stabilize, Solana is going to continue lower. There's no other way around it, okay? So we just got to be mindful of that. And that's why you always have to shift not necessarily shift your mindset, but keep your mindset open and liquid, if you will, so you can be, consistently adjusting to what's going on, because the market will never be the same every single day. It's always different. So it's important for you to calibrate too. So just kind of throwing that out there. With us being over 50 on the RSI yesterday and not here today, it's generally disadvantageous. It doesn't mean you just short the coin, but it does tell us here that we're losing that support range, which again is this 144 mark. We talked about that yesterday. We're moving into the support range again, of course, the overall assessment of 130 to 144. But in a perfect world, 144 should have held as a support level and bounced. We should also have expected support at 147, but that didn't happen either. This tells us that Solana is no longer independent of Bitcoin and it's moving along with it. And in that sense, Bitcoin's calling the shots. So it's essentially one of those situations that's unfortunate, happens all the time, but for the moment, we got to respect the fact that Bitcoin is going to continue to push the price action down or up based on how well it performs or how poorly it performs too. Anyways, we're swinging down the stochastic as well on the daily, letting us know we have more potential momentum to the downside, and that at this point here, it's a hope and a prayer that we bounce to this level, right? We got to wait and see if Bitcoin can hold 60,000, but honestly, the multiple reattempts at 60,000 over the last 7 to 10 days for Bitcoin leads me to believe we're going to see something closer to 56 to 58K range in the immediate near future. If that happens, I think it's safe to presume that the 120 to 130 range will be hit for Solana. So just kind of being realistic with you there. I'm sorry if that feels offensive to you, but I can promise you, you're probably in the wrong industry if you're offended by that comment. Okay. Again, I just say that because there are some funny people in the comments that tend to get upset when you diss on their coin. When truth is, if you look at every coin as if they're the same, it doesn't matter, then truly you're going to be more successful. Either way, we're under 50 on the RSI on the 4 hour. This is shifting bearish to us. MACD's diverging, stochastic swinging down. Keep in mind, stochastic's finding its bottom, so we are due for a potential bounce in the relative near future. Again, a lot of it hinges on Bitcoin. So I hate to keep saying that because that sucks, but that's just the way the crypto market works, okay? We cannot, I cannot forget that. Anyways, the truth here is that even though the RSI is under 50, it still has more room for downside, okay? So we may not have found our bottom yet. I think it's pretty naive to just presume we're gonna get a bounce here, okay? This is, there's no real support in this range. We close over 145 today, possibly a different scenario, but we are printing a pretty obvious rising wedge here too. Okay, generally speaking, they break to the downside, which is happening right now. Okay, so again, this is not based on only solely Solana's merits. It's based on the overall market as a whole. But the truth is, a lot of rising wedge patterns are forming, so it does lead me to believe that shorting is maybe a better consideration for the moment until Bitcoin finds its bottom, which could again be another $3,000 or $4,000 lower, which puts us about 56,000 as a rough estimate for the lowest point in which liquidation is occurring for a liquidation event for Bitcoin. Anyways, let's take a look at the hourly. Confirm here, of course, same scenario. Do not consider a long position. Stochastic RSI, leading into this is telling us we have more momentum to downside, but we're also underneath the conversion line and the baseline there. The lagging span's free and clear. We're underneath the cloud. So hypothetically, best case scenario for us here is likely a bearish backtest of this ascending trend line, bounce off that 144 to 146, and then maybe even consider a short at that point. Okay, so again, I do not like emphasizing or just saying that you should short this coin. There is definitely a distinct probability we could see one more leg up from Solana. But there's also a distinct probability that Bitcoin's going to lose its bottom, and if it does, I think Solana's going to go right there with it. Regardless of how strong it's been recently, you got to recognize it's not being strong right now. Generally, based on how well it responds to Bitcoin's sell-off, is usually a good barometer of how successful a coin is. Granted, you can look at the entire market and say that it's terrible right now, which it pretty much is. But there are some coins that are holding very strong, and it's interesting, like Chainlink, for example. Pretty much just going sideways. It doesn't even care about this right now. Coincidentally, we have a long position open with this, and our second profit target is just above that more recent high. Anyways, I'm mentioning that because some coins do better than others in the light of Bitcoin selling off. Solana right now aligned itself with Bitcoin. We got to recognize that and respect it, and just attach ourselves to the mindset that there's a strong chance we're going to see further downside. Me personally, I don't short Solana. I haven't in quite a while. I know my community doesn't love that. It's a frustrating thing for some people just because I know there can be some money left on the table, but it's too high of a risk for me to want to short just because of how well this coin can just instantly turn around. So please understand, this coin's actually very strong. Granted, we do short this coin a lot on our day trading community, or day trading bot, of course, but that's not me personally sending those trades. All right. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. To all of our new community members, welcome on board. Glad you are a part of our community. Be patient right now at this point. When we're trying to find our bottom, it's best not to chase the bottom. So at this point, again, usually when we see a blood red day like this, I like to take a moment to let things calm down, to identify the outliers, and then go from there. Cool. I hope that makes sense. Thanks again so much for watching. Comment below, like, subscribe, follow if you haven't already. Join us on Twitter, Telegram, Discord, YouTube, TikTok, the whole 9 yards there. It's all available for you. I appreciate you nonetheless. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.